Out of all the Smash games, I think Brawl has the most unique identity amongst them. A big part of this is its grand story mode, the Subspace Emissary. The cutscenes pair with what's essentially a crossover Kirby game with Nintendo characters. I feel like when talking about cutscenes, a lot of people talk about the coolest ones. Ike stopping the boomer, the endgame laser at the very end, yada yada. But there's another aspect of Subspace I really love, the character combos. Part of the fun of a crossover is seeing how characters from different series interact, and Brawl does the best job of this. You've got a lot of wacky team-ups between characters from different series, but my favorite of these is what you saw in the thumbnail, Samus and Pikachu. Combining Metroid and Pokemon sounds like it wouldn't work. You've got one series inspired by the violent alien movies aimed at a Western audience, and then another series inspired by Japanese bug catching that at the time was aimed mainly at children. But Brawl takes itself so seriously that it kind of works out. To start this journey, Samus sneaks into the research facility. She doesn't have her power suit yet, so the player hops around as Zero Suit Samus in a quick intro section with elevators reminiscent of Meta Knight's Revenge. After the intro, you go to the next cutscene, where we see Pikachu. Now when you stop and think about it, this is actually kind of funny. A cartoon rat being used as a battery because it has electric powers sounds like something straight out of Looney Tunes. But again, Brawl takes itself seriously, so this scene works. You hear Pikachu's cries in anguish, and Samus sets out to free him. Pikachu is not her mission, but it doesn't matter. Unlike some other characters in Subspace, Samus is actually pretty consistent with her games. She wouldn't kill an innocent baby Metroid, just like she wouldn't leave Pikachu there despite the consequences. And in turn, Pikachu is loyal. This is reminiscent of how Ash's Pikachu acted after Ash saved its life in the first episode. In this team-up, both characters act how they should. So, no matter if you're a fan of only Metroid or only Pokemon, it all feels right. The next level is reminiscent of Metroid, with puzzle elements and esoteric progression. The difference, besides being Smash, is now you can play as Pikachu. Samus is the only playable character in 2D Metroid, so the novelty of having a different sort of moveset is actually pretty nice. At the end of the maze, we get another cutscene where we see a computer. Samus is chasing after her power suit. After a break in the story from this pair, they return about an hour later. Another quick level to get the power suit, and then we get this cutscene. I always thought it was funny how Sakurai probably told the cutscene animators, "Oh, we'll use dark alts for this fight, so just do 2 Samus." So, the pair team up. There's another point that makes this team up in particular so cool. While other Pokemon characters in this story are either with the trainer or are sort of their own entity, it almost feels like that for this team, Samus is Pikachu's trainer. He's ready to defend her, just like she was willing to save him. With Samus teaming up with the baby Metroid at the end of Metroid 2, it also feels pretty at home. The difference this time, though, is that Samus can save him. Once the fight is over, we get this subtle but nice moment. A look of recognition between the pair. They've both gotten through this together, and they'll continue to fight together. Once you get the power suit back on, you've got a bit more level, and then you're hit with the climax of this pair's story. Ridley grabs Samus in the air and scrapes her against the wall. It feels brutal. But without any hesitation whatsoever, Pikachu summons a powerful thunder, electrocutes Ridley, and saves Samus from destruction. And playing into the crossover nature, Electric attacks are super effective against flying types. But the electricity was so powerful, you can see it pulsing through Samus. This is a rat fighting a dragon, and it goes hard. Again, Brawl takes itself seriously to great effect. Now, Pikachu's returned the favor. It's ready to save Samus at any cost, and takes the lead position against Ridley. But, Samus is also still in the fight. No matter what you think of either character, I think you end up pretty happy here. You get to do the boss fight against Ridley, which makes use of some attacks from Super Metroid. But one fight later, and then this mini-arc is done. From here on, Samus and Pikachu become part of the bigger team, so you don't see them interact as much, so I'll call it here. Infinity War succeeded because it separated its cast to explore character dynamics, and 10 years earlier, Subspace did the same thing. With Samus and Pikachu, you got an unlikely duo that ended up being one of the best team-ups in the game. While there are some Subspace references here and there in the present day, Pokemon Trainer wanting revenge on Wario is still hilarious. Samus and Pikachu's dynamic isn't really brought up after, and that's a shame. I'd love to see them hang out more, considering what they've been through, but I'm still happy that this even happened. That's part of the magic of Smash, seeing these rematches in teams that we never thought were possible, and nothing showed that better than Subspace. Thanks for watching. What are some of your favorite team-ups in Subspace? I want to talk about Marth and Meta Knight later, so I might make that a YouTube short. Leave a comment with your favorite team-ups. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. This channel's still growing.